Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news all market eggs seem to be in the trade talks basket. The China-US trade talks are getting more intense. They're trying to wrap up a week of negotiations that have seen the two sides struggle to detail how to bridge their deep differences. But they are making progress, and these talks seem to be likely to be extended. Markets are betting that the trade favourable outcome will result. They were up solidly in the US on Friday, up spectacularly in Shanghai and Hong Kong. However, one US stock taking a beating is Kraft Heinz, who have just written down their brand value substantially. This is interesting because the company is one of Warren Buffett's biggest investments. He released his latest letter to shareholders over the weekend and didn't mention that. But Berkshire Hathaway is reporting wild swings in its earnings now that mandatory mark-to-market rules apply. Short-term rules that make little sense to a long-term investor like Buffett. And some senior Fed officials are publicly mulling whether to stop draining its QE reservoir from its current $4 trillion level. If acted on, it would push the return of normalisation back even further. And further, one top Fed official said a flattening US yield curve in late 2018, which was close to being inverted, was flashing red about deceleration in American economic growth heading into 2019, despite some solid data at the time. Canadian retail sales came in lower in January, and this was as expected. But the slippage was only kept from being larger by OK car sales. The rest of their retailing was weaker than expected, although some of that was just lower petrol prices. In Australia, the IMF has called for a levy on banks to help cover the multi-million-dollar costs of running their deposit guarantee scheme. If implemented, it's hard to see how this won't drive down term deposit rates, which are already quite low. As you know, New Zealand doesn't have such a scheme, although the RBNZ has signalled that it will look to review its position on that after it completes its bank capital review. The US Treasury 10-year yield will start the week at 2.65%. Their 210 curve is held up at 16 basis points. And gold is a little softer, down $2 at $1,328 an ounce. US oil prices are marginally higher today, at just over $57 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is actually down to just over $67 a barrel. The Kiwi dollar is starting the week at 68.4 US cents, firmer since this time on Friday. On the cross rates, we're holding at 96 Aussie cents. Against the euro, we're at 60.4 euro cents. That puts the TWI firmer at 72.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.